Yes.
We're pulling up extra seats for some of the other elected officials who had joined us today.
Nice.
Extra seats behind those who were seated in the U configuration.
Oh. Great, thank you. Oh, what? Lynn, I was sitting there and say something. Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm about to.
Great.
Student.
Yeah, that's
She's
what
in
I'm
class?
looking. I'm looking for her now. She's right. Yeah, that's one. Okay. All right. Bye. AP James has her. The student is debriefing with AP James. Just give her.
About 30 seconds, minute, we're waiting just for one.
She just kind of calmed her nerves. It's all right. It's all right.
Whatever they said.
State Rep Harris, would you sit in a lower chair, please? Near Principal Siobhan. A lower chair, thank you. I want you to come up by Principal Siobhan. And Councilman Young, where are you? Right here. Okay. I need you to move around, please. Please feel free to move around by Randy on the right side, my right, your left. Thank you. That way all of our elected officials are seen today.
Yes.
How you doing? Good. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, that's true. That's fine.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Neera Tandon. I am the president and CEO of the Center for American Progress, and that is a think tank in Washington that has done a lot of work on career technical education, experiential learning, and I'm happy to be here with Randy Weingarten and doing this important work together. Our work on career technical education at the national level is really based on the idea that students should be able to achieve, they should be able to have a strong middle-class life, whether they go to college or not. And that it's really important that we ensure that we are investing in all our students, that the jobs of tomorrow will take multiple pathways, not just college, but other pathways like career technical education, and that experiential learning can be the most profound learning that people experience, students experience. And we just got a taste of that from talking to students at this incredible high school. Really honored to be here at Muriel Dobbins Career Technical Education School. It is a phenomenal example. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Governor Shapiro, who is a really national leader in this. His investments in this school, in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, are really a role model for the country of making investments in students, ensuring that they're learning in ways that really suit their needs and ensure that they are successful, again, whether they go to college or not. Governor Shapiro?
Thank you, Neera. Thank you very much. And let me begin by thanking Neera and Randy for convening this conversation, for coming here to see one of the gems of our great Commonwealth, Dobbins. This is an amazing school with amazing opportunity. And Madam Principal, thank you for your incredible leadership. We go, don't tell my friends at Salem, but we go to the same church at Bethlehem together. I appreciate all you do. Thank you very, very much. You know, it is my view as governor that every single Pennsylvanian should have the freedom to chart their own course and the opportunity to succeed. And the way you have opportunity is by having an amazing education as a foundation. And the way you create more opportunity is within our education space. You got to make sure that there's all kinds of different pathways to opportunity and success. And I want you to know here in Pennsylvania, we respect every single pathway to opportunity. You choose to serve our nation in the military, we respect you. You choose to go to college, we respect you. You choose to go and build something with your hands in the trades, we respect you. We want to make sure that every single student knows that those pathways are open to them. It's why, by the way, the first official act I took as governor 2.5 years ago now was to sign an executive order doing away with the college degree requirement to work for state government. We've got about 80,000 jobs in state government. Now nearly every single one of them is open to people without a college degree. If you have a college degree, that's great, but we don't believe in arbitrary barriers to success and opportunity. Absolutely. And by the way, over the last 2 years, 61% of the people we've hired in state government do not have a college degree. But that was only the first step. The other thing we've done is we've come together, Democrats and Republicans alike, to pass budgets that have doubled our investment in VOTEC, or CTE. And in fact, we've dramatically expanded the number of apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeship programs in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. There are 34,000 of our fellow Pennsylvanians today going through an apprenticeship program that weren't doing that before we took office and started on this new pathway. And there's nearly 200 new apprenticeship programs, everything from welding, which you can learn here, to dairy herd management, which I don't think Dobbins has yet, but we have it in some of our other schools. So we work hard every day. You know, the mayor and I, and she's just a wonderful partner to have in so many things. The mayor and I were talking to a young woman earlier about how she got turned on to the work that she was doing, the creative work that she was doing. She was asking us about our work and how we do what we do and why we do what we do. The people around this table sit there looking at spreadsheets about numbers for a particular fund or bills that garner the signature of the mayor or me about students. And what we never forget when we're doing this work in our offices is that it's about the students that go here at Dobbins and go in our 500 school districts across Pennsylvania. And so we want to see more schools across Pennsylvania do what Dobbins is doing, creating those pathways to opportunity. And I'm really grateful to Cap and Neera, and of course to Randy, who's been a great friend and partner for a whole lot of years, to making sure that these opportunities are available to students, not just here in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, but across this great nation. So, Neera, thanks for having me for this conversation.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Governor, for your incredible leadership as well. And I'll turn it over to the mayor.
Thank you so very much, Neera. Governor, as I listened to you speak, I thought to myself, you can't be what you don't see. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what you love until you've been exposed to it. Mm-hmm. Governor, the investments that you and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania have made in labor and industry, making career and technical education a priority in the Commonwealth, has helped the city of Philadelphia a great deal. So I need to start by saying thank you for that. We are grateful. In addition to that, here in the city of Philadelphia, I want you to know that there is no one-size-fits-all, cookie-cutter way to train or learn the skills to be put on a path to self-sufficiency, because that's ultimately what we want to do here. I don't care if you're talking about growth in life sciences and biotech, Madam Principal, and or the building trades, you know, carpentry, plumbing, electronics, and or, Governor, I'm a little biased now after our visit last week, because there is a great opportunity growing here in the city of Philadelphia. And everybody's going to be shocked when I say it, because no one's expecting this industry to grow in the city. The maritime industry. Mm-hmm. The city of Philadelphia, birthplace of the Navy. We know we have a Navy Yard, and it is growing. Neera and Randy, that means jobs in maritime. That's right. That means welding. So we visited Hanwha in an amazing firm called Rhodes, Dr. Watlington. We met students who graduated from the school district of Philadelphia, trained with a skilled journeyman in a program for maritime and welding, and they were graduating, earning $80,000 to $90,000 a year. That is what we want education to do. A solid foundation to help put people on a path to self-sufficiency. And so, Nira and Randy, I want you to know I'm grateful. Art, I appreciate you being here, and I want you to know for every young person who we spoke to upstairs, and the governor and I were talking about our own lives, there is also one element, and Dr. Watlington, you state this often, that's a part of a student's success, and I don't care where they're learning. That's a teacher who sees something in them. And we all can name the teacher. We remember the time, and we're grateful about that. So thank you, Nira and Randy, for your leadership.
Randy.
Thanks, Mayor.
So, first off, as the mayor was speaking, I'm like, oh, it's not just the Harbor School in New York City. We're going to have to do maritime in Philly, and I'm going to start talking to the maritime unions about how we grow it.
Yes.
So that was my note that I took to myself. I often have a do now and a list of things I have to do every time I see Governor Shapiro or Mayor Parker. So I got my list.
Good.
I'm checking it twice. So let me just start by saying I'm still actually a teacher on leave from Clara Barton High School for the health professions in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, nice.
Clara Barton is unpaid leave, by the way. Clara Barton is a vocational high school. It's a career tech ed high school. I taught AP Gov and history at Clara Barton. We fought to keep vocational schools alive because I taught in the 1990s, and many times at that moment, unlike what the governor did here, people thought everybody had to go to college. We had to get rid of our vocational schools because vocational schools were used in a stigmatized way. And that was a big mistake. We had to change the stigma, but that was a big mistake. Because what I learned from teaching then was that if you could actually meet kids' passion and marry a purpose, you could get to possibilities. And that's what pathways do. Pathways marry passion and purpose so kids see possibilities. And that's so what, and Nira and Cap as a partner, frankly, Nira, when she was at the White House, she saw it. They saw it. And we started on a path of what could the then federal government do to help grow these pathway programs because they cost money. All the computers we saw upstairs cost money.
That's right.
Internships cost money, particularly when we have to ensure that our kids have internships and apprenticeship programs in high school, because if not, they're competing with a family that says you got to make money. So ultimately, we wanted to be here today because what we saw today should be available to all kids. And frankly, 40% of our kids who graduate from high school don't go to college. We need to create these kind of choices for kids in high school. And second, 95% of kids who go to these career tech ed programs graduate from high school on time, and 70% go to college. So you tell me another win-win-win proposition where kids have all sorts of different opportunities right from high school, where they can see, they can play, they can feel, they can touch. And in a world like today, where AI, where new technology, where the world is changing, we need to make sure that kids have the skills of problem solving and critical thinking and being able to look at each other, not just look at this device, and be resilient. So if they fall down, they can get back up again. These are the kinds of skills that you learn and that we saw Dr. Thompson right upstairs. These are the kinds of skills you see in every high-quality career and tech ed program. So that's why our union, a union that actually represents more higher ed than any other union, our union believes in these pathways as an opportunity for kids to thrive.
Thank you so much. And really, thank you, Randy, for making the connection over many, many years, not just recently, between experiential learning and really success in academics and success in life. And we really did see those examples where with the governor and the mayor really interacting with students who are having an experience where they're designing something online and then making it within hours because of 3D printing, in part because of the investments that the state has made in this school in particular. So I'd love to just start with you, Dr. Thompson, who's the principal of Dobbins High School, and I will just say the first alumni principal of Dobbins High School. And if you could just share, you know, why you think this is important, the kind of experience your students are having, just really share with the audience here how the kind of things that we saw upstairs.
Awesome. Thank you for this opportunity. Before I get started to answer the question, I really want to say thank you to everyone that is here because, you know, coming to Dobbins, it has such a strong legacy. It's with CTE, but it's also within our city. You see, like, the first Banton firefighter. She had graduated in '97. You will see Sylvester Johnson, who was the chief of the police. You will see Lloyd Ayers, the chief of firefighters. You'll see Dawn Stanley. You know, you will see Hank Gathers. You know, you will see NFL players that all came from here. But the one thing that I'm really hard about is how my journey from Dobbins had came. I didn't know anything about cosmetology. My father, my family, my grandmother went here. My mom worked here. My sisters went here. And it was just sent to me that, hey, go to Dobbins so you can get a trade and we can open up a hair salon. But I'm going to tell you that as a leader, I am not just sending and saying, like, if you don't want to go to college and if you only want to go to the workforce, here I stand as a product that I did both. Right. Yeah. Right. I got my license as a high school, and I'm so glad that it's in high school and not just talking about higher ed, because I got my license, I earned my license, as well as, you know, got a full ride to Penn State. Wow. At the same time. And I graduated at the age of 17. It allowed me to be an entrepreneur, as well as now I stand before you as a PhD, you know, doctoral. Yes, and it's just like you would never believe that it will all start from here. If it was not for Dobbins, it changed my trajectory. My other siblings came and followed me as well. I have a brother who is a manager at Ernst & Young, coming here from learning accounting. You know, so it's just not just with one person. You see a family legacy that stems from Dobbins. So when we talk about money, we're talking about just the community. And here it is that I am standing next to my political party who just, you know, stand beside me no matter what, whatever that is going on in the building. The mayor, I want to say thank you for allowing this strong pathway into city jobs. Since you've been in office, we just started to really know what is it that you want. Usually we just stick with the industry leaders and we try to say, hey, you know, let's get this apprenticeship. Let us see what we can do to train up our scholars so that they can go into the entry level. But yet there is a pathway that is working simultaneously with us. We want to just say thank you for, you know, the council member and the state rep for just allowing to say, hey, we have more opportunities for internships for every last trade that we have serving here. And it doesn't matter whether or not if we have a house in this building, but definitely I want to say thank you, Superintendent, for allowing it to be, when I say Dobbins, sometimes I just look at, hey, we a district. And even though it's not housed in this building, but we have it in other schools, you know, and it's because I'm from this community. Right? I'm right here at Shoreberry Mansion. And if my people do not sit there, I got young black males that just sit on the corner, or young females who don't have hope and dreams. So it's not just a Dobbins thing. Like, their heart and passion definitely comes from, there are people out there that are in need. So when you look at the dollars that is being spent, you're looking at families and trajectories being changed. Wow. And I just want to say that is how I lead in this school, is that if listen, if we want it, then we're going to get it. And just like from the drones, like even though the name of the program is graphics, communications, and it had nothing to do with drones, but guess what? If we can extend that curriculum,
That's right.
then guess what? I'm a partner with my industry leaders, and we're going to extend this curriculum, and this is the way we're going to actually fund it. So again, I want to say thank you for this opportunity, and that is how we kind of lead in making sure that we also partner with other schools.
Phenomenal. And I just want to say, on our tour upstairs, we saw the graphics program, which has really moved into a state-of-the-art computer learning program, but that you also had investments into 3D printing in the school that allowed students to go from a design to an actual product. Which is just to say this is a little Pokemon that was created, and these things have been all created by the students. So I'd love to turn to you, Savannah, to just share with us, because we heard from other students, really the spark of what's gotten you interested, what is engaging you in school here.
Okay, so I would like to say good afternoon, everybody. So, I'm gonna be honest, I'm so nervous right now.
All right.
It's okay.
Okay, so originally I'm not from Philly, I'm from California. So moving to Philly was very hard for me. I don't have family here. I didn't have any friends. Ooh, this is emotional.
Yes, it is.
You're okay.
It's all right.
So,
Yeah.
Great.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
All right.
It's not easy for me. And this school has opened a lot of opportunities for me.
Nice.
And honestly, it changed my life as a person and as like a community leader, because like it opens up so much doors. Recently, I did a summer program, so I made 3 films, and that's because of my shops. They really want you to have that real world experience no matter what. And it breaks my heart to know that people want to express themselves, but they don't know how, they don't have that source. And when they come to our school, they realize like they have an outlet for that. And it goes deeper than academics always. It's more about that hands-on experience and how you can create connections with the people around you to better yourself and to better them also. I'm so sorry.
That's great.
But yes, it's just like really life-changing, honestly. I also did an internship with fellow classmates, and we created a podcast. And it's based about our school, like news and segments about how we can improve and change as a community and as individuals. And I just feel like all the CTE schools are very important. And most kids, they don't express themselves with their voice. You have to see the products of the work. And that's me. I don't like to talk. But if you see my work, it's a message through it. And yeah, I don't want to cry in front of you guys.
Savannah, you're awesome.
Yes, you are.
Hey, can I ask you a question? If I want to hear your podcast, where do I find it?
Ooh, Dobbins TV.
Dobbins? Is that the YouTube channel they were talking about upstairs?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So we could check that out? Would you ever like to have the mayor on your podcast? I could probably get her on. I know her.
I would love all of you guys.
And
on
I'll
my
book
podcast.
it up for you.
Hold that for the governor, too.
Thank you, Savannah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It's really important for people to see how really life-changing these programs can be and why the investments mean so much. I'm going to turn to you, Dr. Watlington, as the superintendent of schools here. I'd love to just get your perspective on how you're seeing these investments and how, not these just investments, but the transformation students are experiencing from these investments in Philadelphia.
Well, our very fine Dobbins student just did a good job of really giving the context. So anything I say now is probably of less consequence. But since you're asking me, let me say three things. One, she put a face on what this really is about from a qualitative, put a face on it. So Governor and Mayor, AFT, CAP, everybody who's advocating for funding, and to an education governor and an education mayor who have found ways during these lean, austere budget times to get more money in the school district of Philadelphia. I want you to know that we're being good stewards of those dollars, and you've heard it straight here, and you've seen it in action. Not only, let me give you a quantitative way to think about that, too. Under Principal Thompson's leadership, Dobbins High School has had significant improvement increases in the NOCTI test, which is a nationally normed career readiness assessment that Randy Weingarten knows very well. The majority of the students here are successful in that assessment. It's not a story that gets told all the time, Governor, Mayor. Across the district, there have been double-digit increases in that assessment because we recognize, as you said so well, Governor, that there are multiple pathways to get to the middle class. And so our job is to prepare students to be college or career ready. And so we're really excited about the direction the mayor is leading us in that direction. Number two, the funding that you're finding ways to get here, Mayor, by changing the millage of the property tax that comes to the district that gets us, Governor, an additional $240 million over the next 5 years. With the stroke of the mayor's pen, and Governor, the year-over-year increases that you've made happen, and the legislators, Senator Street and others, and the Philadelphia delegation that's led to an increase of some $139+ million year-over-year funding, that matters in a historically underfunded school district, but we're getting better. We're investing in CTE programs. Governor, Mayor, as you well know, we are completing a facilities planning process this fall. By December 31, we will get to the board a set of recommendations to more efficiently utilize the footprint of buildings in the district.
Talking about this for a while.
Yes.
December 31.
As you speak.
And we're thinking about programs under Principal Thompson's leadership about where should we put more resources, where should we retool, where are the jobs for the future in this Commonwealth, in the 5th most populous state, the 6th largest city in the country. And then finally, I just want to just note, our kids are doing some incredible things here. Two quick factoids, and I'll stop. Number one, when you look at the nation's report card, Governor and Mayor, from 2010 to 2020, pre-pandemic, and when you look at the nation's report card from 2020 to present, and the last administration of the national NAEP test, which Congress put in place in 1969 to test every 2 years, as you well know, we've moved from the bottom quartile to the top quartile, second in the country among big city districts, only behind Los Angeles in 8th grade math. Give our kids a big round of applause. It's what the mayor says about teachers and principals and their importance. And certainly in the school district, we're seeing significant improvement. In career technical education graduates, we have just shy of 6,000 career technical education students in 84 programs where they can get career technical, where they can get industry certifications. They have better grades. They graduate in higher numbers. They're helping to fuel the increases in test scores and graduation rates and significant decreases in the dropout rate. So I thank you for all the advocacy for career technical education. And I know, Governor, you were at Randolph High School here in the city earlier.
That was cool.
And thank you, Mayor, Governor. Thank you, Randy, Nira, and partners at the PFT and our great partners at Temple University and these very fine students. I didn't get a chance to hire this fine principal, Bill Height, my predecessor did, but I get a chance to be her partner and supporter every day. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Just a 30-second history lesson. I don't know, Madam Principal, if I'm allowed to teach history here, but and Wendy and Art and I had this conversation about a month or so ago at your conference. The mayor and I served in the legislature together, and roughly a dozen or so years ago, the conversation was about how a prior administration had hollowed out public education, cut $1 billion out of public education. and Senator Street knows this well, over the last decade, we worked really hard to put that $1 billion back in, just to give folks like Savannah a fighting chance, right? So put $1 billion back in. After the last 10 years, it had been taken out. In just the last 2 years in our administration, the work we've done in the legislature, we've increased that funding by $2 billion more. We're now investing $11 billion. And the Philadelphia School District has received $390 million in new money. So when you sit here, Dr. Watlington, and you brag, appropriately so, about the incredible scores and the assessments, and frankly, we don't even need those scores to know when we listen to Savannah how great it's going. The investment matters. Absolutely. And by the way, it's why I'm staying at the table with Republicans and Democrats fighting for a budget that invests in public education. Not walking away from that. Dr. Rowe is not walking away from that, our great Secretary of Education. So you invest, students do better. And so we're really proud of that. You know, we've lived through the lean years together, the mayor and I have, and now we're in the years where we're making these investments, and it really matters.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us that background. And I also think one of the real opportunities of non-college pathways, career technical education, is the partnership that develops between high schools, community colleges, and also business. And it's often that students can see those jobs, as you were saying, the mayor, these jobs, these good paying jobs, really immediately in high school. And so I wanted to just turn to Ms. Moore, Sherelle Moore of the Philadelphia Inquirer, who has a partnership here with Dobbins, and to just talk a little bit about that partnership and those jobs at the end of the rainbow.
For sure, for sure. First, I want to thank you for the invitation here. Hey, Asir. And I want to thank Dobbins for access to the students, right? So, and we have a annual journalism workshop called the Asa Moore High School Journalism Workshop. It's for high school students. And every year, one of the first schools that we call is Dobbins, right? Because you have this CTE program here where students are already trying their hand at some of the skills with the digital media program, right? So we had Yasir attend last year. We also had another student attend, and in this opportunity, they get a chance to partner with journalists, and for a few months in the wintertime, they're able to create articles, really learn and dig into the field of journalism. Because here, right, they're gaining some skills, and now they get to see, okay, what does this look like in a workplace? You all said it, right? I don't know the last time we posted a job that required a college degree, right? Because once you have that college degree, okay, where's the experience at? Where's the hands-on experience at, right? So there's opportunities like this that's necessary. I want to thank you for your vulnerability, Savannah, because you know, I grew up in West Oak Lane. I'm still in West Oak Lane, right? And too many of my peers, right, are reaching their 30s and their 40s, and they're like, hey, I failed in life, right? And now I'm starting over. And that's not true, right? Because, yes, college was the path for me, and going on to college and then getting another opportunity. But that's all we heard growing up, right? Like, hey, you have to go to school and then get your job, your full-time job, right? That was just where the generation was at that point. But you go throughout life going through a path that's not for you. This is such a meaningful time in high school where you're exploring yourself and you're discovering opportunities. You need to find what your skill set is, what gives you energy, what gives you passion and drive, right? What takes away your energy, like, hey, I hate this, right? Because you don't want to jump into a career at 25 and then finally figure out, I don't like this at all. Not that you can't pivot, not that you can't adjust, but imagine if you had that opportunity at 15, at 16 to start to figure out, like, hey, I really, really like this, right? And I want to try to explore and expand, right? And at the Inquirer, you have the opportunity to connect with the journalist, connect with the mentor. Our editor says, hey, here's my email, here's my phone number, call me for a recommendation, right? Because not only do you need access and exposure to those opportunities, but you also need a network, right? I know we all heard it's not who you know, what you know, it's who you know. I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because now I want to put my application in, but I also want to make that phone call on the back end and say, hey, I put it in, can you look out and check for, or what are some of the things that you're looking for, right? Or, hey, I partner with this person, I know this person. can I get that first phone call, that interview? I'm not asking for you to give me the job, but I'm asking for that. And we had students that after the ASUMOR program attend externships with us, right, and additional opportunities with us. And that's so important that we're not just investing in them, they're also investing in us because they built their foundations here with us, and they're building their foundations here in the city. So I'm super thankful for this partnership that we have here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I thank you for giving us that example of how experiential learning in high school through programs like CTE can actually put students in an advantage over students who don't have experiential learning, who just use the college pathway and don't really like have that direct experience with what their future could be. That is a great example. And I now wanted to turn to Dr. Monica Williams-Shealy, who's at Temple, and as a partner, I think, with the entire school system here. And I really, we've talked about the various elements, obviously, the high school itself, the students, the teachers, the business partners, but I'd love to get your assessment of the role higher ed plays in that experiential learning.
Well, first, thank you for having us. I didn't have to go far this morning, so I appreciate that. Dobbins is right in our backyard. And our founder, Russell Conwell, said that he wanted to cultivate diamonds in our backyard. And that's the purpose of Temple. Temple's hand is in the community in a number of ways, very much a part of President Fry's commitment to place-based impact. We see it certainly with the cultivation of relationships with teachers and certainly those who we're trying to recruit into teaching. So if we have any trades representatives here, we need you to come into teaching so you can support students like Savannah and others. That's a part of the work of our Regional Career and Technical Education Center, is to support prospective as well as new teachers. We do that through mentoring, coaching, right here in the building, side by side with our experts. The other piece of that is we want to provide options for students of Dobbins and other CTE programs. If you decide that you want to come to Temple, there's a place for you, Savannah, in our Klein School. There's a place for students that want to have experiences and internships at Temple. A part of the work that we do is not only advocating for pathways and for support, and I know some have this narrative that universities are disconnected from the realities of schooling and learning. That is not the case at Temple. We are very much rooted in the realities of teaching because we spend time in schools. One of the first meetings I had in the city was with the superintendent. The result of the commitment of the city of Philadelphia to invest in CTE makes Temple the unique place to be able to support new and current teachers who are seeking initial cert, but also they want to be leaders. There are programs around the state, and as a regional center, we start with home, but we also extend to Eastern Pennsylvania, providing services all over the state to teachers and to leaders of career and technical education centers. What we want to do, though, moving forward, is remove barriers for providing support to those who want to move from industry to the classroom. One of the meetings that I had with CTE teachers, I'm in schools every Thursday, and when I'm in schools, they say, Dean, we love the fact that we're here and we want to be here, but I don't have time to learn about the history of education. I need to know how to do a lesson plan. What is that? I need to know how to engage these students. I'm a welder. I'm a contractor. I'm a culinary arts specialist. I'm not a teacher. So we have to bridge the gap between research to practice, and we have to ensure that that content that they bring to the classroom is paired with the pedagogy that will inspire and motivate the next generation of employees, employers, scholars, thinkers, anything that these students want to be. We want to ensure that educators and leaders have the skills that they need to be able to cultivate these diamonds right here in our backyard.
Thank
So
you
thank
so
you.
much.
Nira,
Thank you.
Let me just add here. I have to say this, Nira. When Sherelle was speaking, Governor, I was thinking about something that government has not done well over the years. When we think about the delivery of a high-quality public education, we think that rests solely on the shoulders of Dr. Watlington as the superintendent, the administrator, Art, the teachers. However, when Sherelle says she's at the Inquirer, thank you, Dr. Watlington and principal, for allowing us in. You have to remove silos about whose responsibility it is. And so when you hear us talk about intergovernmental cooperation and collaboration, Randy, you talked about removing that stigma. Because there was a time, and I want to be 1,001% clear, I don't know if that we've said it directly, that folks would attempt to drive a wedge between the trades and academia as if it was an either or. Here in the city of Philadelphia, near we've created the first of its kind in the nation, City College for Municipal Employment. Why a pathway for Philadelphia residents, not just our students in the school district, students, but their parents, to come in and train for jobs in the city of Philadelphia, but not just the city, the state, working with the trades. Dr. Watlington has worked with external partners. That's how we leverage scarce resources to maximize their efficiency during this very challenging time, and connecting with resources that we don't necessarily look at as being educational vehicles. And Dr. Watlington, you have to for a minute, you didn't say this, talk about Middle College and our school district of Philadelphia students who are in high school for 2 years, and and what they get with that associates.
We've got a number of students who are in high school, and they're taking classes while they're in high school, getting double credit, high school and college credit, dual enrolled. One of the standalone schools is the Middle College at the Community College of Philadelphia. But beyond that, whether it's Temple, LaSalle, a number of institutions across the city, students are graduating with 2 years of college in their tool belt before they graduate from high school. Saves them and their parents a lot of money, cuts down on long-term debt, and they have a leg up in this competitive market that we're in. So whether they're getting a 2-year associate's degree and go take that $70,000, $80,000 a year job, go work for the city under the mayor's City College for Municipal Employment Initiative, or if they're going to do a transfer to a 4-year institution, public or private, here in the Commonwealth, they are 2 years ahead of the game, and we're excited about that. We're continuing to grow those numbers as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Our time is getting limited, so I'm going to ask our next speakers to go quickly. I would love to hear from you, Secretary of Education, Dr. Rowe, for Secretary of Education for the Commonwealth, just to see this whole discussion of CTE. I take the point of the mayor that it's not just the schools or leaders, political leaders, it's business, it's the not-for-profit sector that have a role. How do you see the investments in career technical education and its connection to the economic growth of Pennsylvania?
Thanks for the question. I think I have to go back to Dr. Thompson when she was talking about each of the members of her family and the encouragement that she got, and she herself graduated from here. You can't tell me that education isn't an economic strategy. And that's what we're seeing with the investments that the governor is putting in place, and CTE in general. Or CTE specifically, I should say, education in general and CTE specifically. And the governor has talked a whole lot about pathways, a pathway for every student, and that we respect those different pathways. And beyond that, he's taken CTE and made it a premier pathway so that we're aligning the academics, we're integrating those things, we're aligning with the community, making sure that we have solid partnerships, and that's how we're going to have a more prosperous future right here in Pennsylvania.
Thank you so much. And Arthur Steinberg, you've done a ton of work on this issue, not just here, but around the country, and just would welcome your thoughts on what you're seeing here in Philadelphia and how important this is as an education opportunity for students.
Okay, I'd really like to limit my comments to brief to really what is going on here. One of the obstacles to implementing all these great CTE programs is you need the personnel the teachers to be willing to do it. So one of our contract demands during the last contract, which we just settled, by the way, was to
Thank
pay.
you.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff in it. Dr.
Made this
Watlington.
event a lot easier.
Yeah, Dr. Watlington was a great partner in it. One of our demands was to pay for the certification for the people coming from the trades to teach in the school district, really across the state. The mayor, thank you, stepped in and filled that void so we could divert that money to other places now and get some other things. So that was really a really big help. As you heard here, we have a lot of wonderful programs. We're great at doing the work. We're not as good at promoting and marketing. There's another program here. There's a pre-apprenticeship and early childhood education program, which is out at Parkway West. The kids work at Ken Crest 2 days a week, finish with the CDA certificate, and then can transition right into work in the school district of Philadelphia, where, as you know, we have a paraprofessional shortage. And then the added benefit of that is they would then qualify to enter the Pathways to Teaching program, get a teaching certificate for free. So it serves two masters here. It allows people to get good paying jobs, go on and further their education, and deals with the teacher shortage. So there's really kind of all, I have to say here now. And there's another program at Vaugh's Big Picture, which is similar, which Wendy is really familiar with. She wants to fill on that with experiential learning and things. And she's negotiated the contract for that, so she can really fill you in on that.
Wendy Coleman, would you like to speak to that program?
Sure. Walks Big Picture, which is a partnership with the district and the union and the housing authorities. Sorry, I turned it off. I thought I was turning it on. I'm sorry. Volk's Big Picture, which is a partnership with the district and PFT and the Housing Authority, provides, internships and real-world learning and all of those type of things that have been a great partnership and building skills for the kids. But I do want to just echo a little bit on what Arthur said about us promoting the programs that we do, because there's so many great things going on, and I don't think we often promote them. I went to a CTE high school, which we had a partnership with the Enquirer when I thought I wanted to be in communications, and I obviously pivoted to education, but I still talk to Avery Rome, who was an editor at the Enquirer to this day. And I think, the benefits are forever. But again, I think the promotion, I was telling Arthur this story, like recently I bought a Lenox Spice Village, which is like the highlight of my life in my 40s, but I needed a shelf for it. And I thought, the kids at the workshop can build a shelf. So I called the teacher I knew and blah, 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 what's the cost? And then we're investing into the program and also giving the students experience and practice. And I think that's so important because I saw some of the gifts that the students gave today. I know some of our schools at holiday time will sell, the things that they make, and we should be promoting that more so that the community knows, hey, you can get ornaments at Dobbins, right? And I think that goes a long way to the longevity of the programs.
One thing I want to add, I'm sorry, real quickly, is Governor, we do have a farm school here in Philadelphia, the Saul Agricultural School. So maybe take it for that.
Randy, briefly, did you want to
You got it. I'll check it out.
I just, first off, Neera, I just want to say thank you before you close. But think about what's going on here in this forum. Think about so many different places that could easily be silos. And what's happened is, and you heard it from the teachers union, state and local, with basically finishing the superintendent's sentences and back and forth. That one of the contract demands was to actually do what we needed to do to grow the programs. And that is why I'm so grateful that we are here in Pennsylvania, because you see it, Gov, for what it means both in opportunity, education opportunity, and economic opportunity. But what you have here in this city is people really working together to solve problems, to help our young people, and to help the city grow. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of you, and particularly to my colleagues who could easily be saying, well, I'm not sure, and they don't. They turn around and say, what can we do to make this work?
And I think that is a perfect ending to an event which really has demonstrated the win for students, win for our cities, win for business, and win for economic growth for the state writ large. And it is a testament to bringing everyone together, but also how important political leadership is that invests and has made career technical education a role model again for the country. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.